Psalm 82, a plea for God to judge the earth. Psalm 82, attributed to Asaph, presents a striking vision of divine justice through the metaphor of a courtroom. The psalm opens with a dramatic image, God standing in the assembly of the mighty, pronouncing judgment among the gods. This setting introduces a key tension in the psalm. Those referred to as gods, Hebrew, Elohim, appear to be powerful beings or rulers who have been entrusted with authority, either spiritual or earthly. It could denote human judges acting on divine authority, as suggested in Exodus 22 verse 28, or spiritual beings entrusted with governing nations, in line with ancient Near Eastern cosmology and biblical texts like Deuteronomy 32 verse 8 and Job 1. God's opening words are a rebuke. How long will you judge unjustly, and show partiality to the wicked? This rhetorical question reveals the nature of the complaint. Those in positions of power have failed in their most basic duty, to uphold justice. Their failure is not a passive error but an active perversion of their role. They favor the wicked, neglecting the poor and the fatherless. The psalm then issues an imperative call to right action, defend the vulnerable, deliver the oppressed, and rescue them from exploitation. Yet the rulers remain blind. They do not know, nor do they understand, they walk about in darkness. This ignorance is not intellectual but moral and spiritual. The consequences are cosmic. All the foundations of the earth are unstable. Justice is foundational to the order of the world. When those entrusted with authority betray their calling, the very structures of society and creation begin to unravel. The psalm presents a worldview in which moral failure at the top leads to systemic disorder. In one of the most theologically complex verses of the psalm, God declares, "You are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High." This is both an affirmation of their elevated status and a reminder of their origin and duty. They are gods only insofar as they derive their authority from the Most High. Their position is not inherent but delegated. However, despite this divine appointment, their failure ensures their downfall. But you shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Their mortality underscores their accountability. The psalm closes with a plea, "Arise, O God, judge the earth, for you shall inherit all nations." It is a call for divine intervention, a longing for a just ruler to take control in a world where human or spiritual authorities have failed. It reflects a prophetic hope that God's justice will ultimately prevail, not just over Israel, but over all the nations. The prayer for God to inherit the nations points forward to a vision of universal dominion. Psalm 82 critiques the misuse of authority, defends the cause of the oppressed, and points to God as the ultimate and righteous judge. It invites readers in every generation to reflect on the weight of justice, the responsibility of power, and the hope for a world governed by divine righteousness.
Psalm 82, a psalm of Asaph. God stands in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and show partiality to the wicked? Selah. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Free them from the hand of the wicked. They do not know, nor do they understand. They walk about in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are unstable. I said, "You are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for you shall inherit all nations.